Welcome to the Enterprise in Business Competition Champion of Champions Grand Final for 2023. Please welcome your host, Rob Bell.
And so today, 10 teams will be pitching to our 4 judges, who will be sat here, in the hope of winning one of the prizes in our 2 categories. There's the Big Ideas category and the Startup category. We also have an award for the best presentation and the Enterprise Award, which will be given to the team with the most commercial potential, as deemed by our judges. Also joining us after the teams have all pitched, and before we announce this year's prize winners, we have a special guest with us. We'll be hearing from last year's winner of the Big Ideas Prize, Tamara Ivankova, who will tell us a little bit about how the EIBC competition here helped her to progress her business, Amara Automotive, over the last 12 months. It's exciting, right? Yeah, we're in for a good evening. Very good. Now, before we meet our judges for today's competition, yesterday, our 10 finalist teams, who are all sat here, by the way, for those of you at the back of the room, our 10 finalist teams received some top tips on how to sell and present their ideas from some Sainsbury Management Fellowship coaches. And here's how they got on.
My idea is a low-cost power factor correction device to combat the very expensive systems on the market.
It's a technology about mixed reality ecosystem for future.
We've invented a soil monitoring system to help develop regenerative farming and to preserve soil health within the UK and worldwide.
So it's an exciting day, I think, for everybody. There are some strong ideas out there.
My project is a universal communication system that's focused on displaced people such as refugees and asylum seekers.
We're an early stage clean tech startup looking to generate clean, reliable, renewable electricity with our higher efficiency enzymatic biofuel cell technology.
What the most fun bit of today is the younger generation basically enthused about starting new businesses that are using high-tech engineering.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Engineers in Business Fellowship Champion of Champions Coaching and Publicity Day.
I built a line sensor for squash.
PicoSense is aiming to revolutionize care for PCOS patients, polycystic ovary syndrome patients in the UK.
And our idea is to essentially redesign the control system of current satellites.
We believe that our stampede prevention system will reduce the risks of stampedes especially indoor music venues.
We are developing a technology that is going to revolutionize the retail space.
They've come a long way with their ventures, all of them, and I'm really very impressed by where they've got to so far.
Pitching new ideas is always a difficult thing, and you have to believe more than is reasonable in your idea.
Oh, very excited.
This is an amazing opportunity for me to be here.
Really, really looking forward to it, definitely.
I'm really looking forward to meeting the other finalists. From what I've read, they're a very talented group of people, and it's going to be very interesting to hear their ideas and hear what they've got to say.
Definitely, we are going to be the champion.
Fighting talk there, fighting talk indeed. All will be played out up here on the stage. And such a wide variety of projects and business ideas in there, right? I hope you've seen enough there to pique your interest, but fear not, you will hear much more about those different business ideas as our teams go through their presentations. Okay then, it's now time to meet our 4 judges who made their way up onto stage as if by magic during that VT. So let me introduce them to you. Caroline Fleming, here on the left, we have Director of Surrey Innovation District at the University of Surrey. Welcome, Caroline. Sainsbury Management Fellow, Andrew De Rosero, Sustainability Director for EMEA at Microsoft. We have Megan Powell-Freeswijk, Head of Enterprise and Innovation at Nottingham Trent University. Just give me a big smile because I've got a name right. And our head judge on the end here, who is also a Sainsbury Management Fellow, the highly experienced digital leader, serial entrepreneur, non-exec director, and angel investor, Andy Doe. Ladies and gentlemen, please will you welcome all 4 of our judges. Andy, as head judge, I'm going to come to you and just get a feel of how it is to be a judge up here on this prestigious stage this evening and what awaits you?
Terrifying. It's very nerve-wracking, but we're very excited and we're looking forward to hearing some amazing pitches.
And you've got an idea of you've got an idea of the businesses already, but are you looking forward to delve a bit more into those?
Absolutely. So we've already seen some information about the businesses. We've seen the business model canvas. We've seen their posters. We've seen their videos. But we're looking forward to seeing them in the flesh and asking them some questions about their businesses.
Absolutely. This is it in real life. Well, there you are, guys. These are your judges. These are the guys who you have to impress this evening. Andy, thank you very much. And thank you to all of our judges. Thank you. And please make yourselves comfortable because you've got a busy time ahead of you. Let me tell you that. So this evening, the pressure is definitely on our teams to perform, which is what they'll have to do to gain the support they need to turn their ideas into reality. Now, you may have already voted for your team to win the pre-show prize on the EIBC website, but after all 10 teams have pitched here this evening, we would also like you to participate in the judging by voting for the audience prize, which is worth £500. And we'd like you to do this using your smartphones. So you in the room and you at home or wherever you are watching. So the directions for that. You just go into your web browser and type slido.com into your device, and that will then prompt up, there'll be a prompt there for a code, which you should type in EIBC Grand Final. That's all one word. And then go to the polls once you're in there and vote for the team that you think has the best idea. The team that you think has made the most compelling pitch here up on this stage. And voting will open after all 10 teams have pitched. So you can put your smartphones away for now, but just so you know how that is, once all 10 teams have pitched, we'll then come back and remind you that that's what you need to do. And the team with the most of your votes wins the £500 audience prize. So make sure you keep that in mind as you're listening to the pitches that you're going to hear from the teams up here this evening. And as I say, we'll ask you to vote for that at the very end. It's good stuff, isn't it? You guys are as important up here as well. There is real cash prize at stake here. We'll also be announcing the winners of the pre-show prize and the audience prize at the end of the show. And if you're posting on social media about this as we go through, which I hope you are, then please remember to use the hashtag EIBC Grand Final. There it is. And all these social media platforms are available for you. It is a jam-packed show, ladies and gentlemen, so we need to get cracking. So let's get on with it. So as a reminder to you of the rules, each of our teams here will have exactly 3 minutes to pitch their idea to our 4 esteemed judges, after which 2 of our judges will get the opportunity to ask them some quick questions. So, without further ado, the first category is big ideas. Now, this is for younger students, mostly undergraduates who wish to express their potential to tackle a big problem by combining business and technology. So we start with Riverflow from Birmingham City University. And Riverflow's big idea is to develop a soil monitoring system to help keep an eye on soil health and help boost crop yields. So guys, here is the clicker for your presentation. So welcome to the stage, Adam McGoyne and Tom Marshall from Birmingham City University with Riverflow. Guys, you have 3 minutes for your pitch and your time starts now.
Hi, thank you all very much for coming, and we are Riverflow. Farming needs to adapt. Customer demands are ever changing with the push for sustainable, regenerative farming. There is a need for real-time, data-rich intelligence for growth optimization models. Farmers use these to improve their yields and defend their profit margins. We've found a gap in the market with an affordable station that can do this, and we're aiming to bridge that gap.
At the heart of this system, there's a weatherproof sensor pack, which records 3 data points that are critical for soil health. These include a subsurface temperature probe, a capacitive moisture sensor, and a subsurface vibration sensor to detect earthworm movement in the ground. The device will stay in the ground all year round and includes a sensor controller, a data logger, a GSM module, and power pack. Our device sits at the heart of the Riverflow ecosystem, which includes an in-field control mobile app, as well as an in-depth web app analysis suite where the farmer can sit and kind of just look at all the data that they've got, as well as an installation, maintenance, and benchmarking service, and local and national authority data link to help combat flooding.
There is no other system on the market that offers an affordable, scalable, data-rich soil monitoring system. Traditional methods are typically labour-intensive, going into a field, using machinery, sometimes taking lab samples. They also only give one point of data. Our system is passive, sits in the field all year, and gives 3 points of data. On the other end of the scale, and probably our chief competitor, is Soil Scout. This is extremely expensive, $1,500 for one unit. This is tailored for world-class stadiums, golf courses, and is typically intrusive to install, digging deep into the ground to install. Our system, at a prototype level, costs £87 to produce and can be installed above or below the ground. The market opportunity is huge. 5 million hectares of arable land in the UK alone, with a turnover of £7.9 billion. The US and the EU have a market 60 times that size. One example in the UK is G's Fresh, a huge grower with a turnover of £370 million alone. Now, as a secondary market, we can combat hobbyist gardeners, combat probably isn't the right word, but you understand what I mean, and many with professional aid. This system will help them grow better by giving the tools they need to see what they've grown.
The system is readily expandable and based on feedback from farmers. We would like to add additional sensors, which include a pH sensor, a compaction sensor, and a nitrate level sensor as well. In-field control of irrigation and distribution is also something we want to do, which will help save the farmers money, and then a river flow specific optimization model, which will help us with our data points.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Adam and Tom.
No problem. Give that to the judges. Do you want to take a look at that?
Tom, if you want to stay up on stage, we've got Tom. If you want to stay up on stage, we've got time for a question. I'll just nip the
yeah, no problem.
Lovely. Andy, can we come to you first again for a question for the guys about the business pitch?
Why are you called River Flow if you are doing soil monitoring? Is that not going to confuse your customers and, in fact, the market? And if you're going to change the name, what would you change it to?
So, it was born originally from a directive from the Rivers Trust. So this was a system originally designed to look after river health. The idea is you stop runoff from fields into rivers, you actually improve the water health. Now, we can change the name. It would probably be Green Flow. We've already talked about that. And that way, customers know it's more soil-based, more grass-based, more growing-based.
Lovely, thank you. Caroline, let's come to you for a question.
Yeah, thank you. You talked about how you're overcoming the barriers to other sensors, but what is the key innovation then that you've got that allows you to be affordable and able to be left in the soil when other sensors can't be?
So the big thing we have is we've used some off-the-shelf components in a pretty innovative way. So one example, in the base of the sensor, which admittedly is not there at the moment, but what it is a vibration sensor. So that is used into the soil to detect earthworm movements. We took some research from a Korean university who'd looked to do this and found some success, and we found that in our product too. There's nothing on the market that particularly offers that, and typically to detect earthworms, you've got to dig the soil up, which destroys it, which means you can't particularly measure it for the entire of the field. This way, multiple sensors around the field can give you a good picture of what you're looking like.
Great stuff. Lovely. Thank you, judges. Thanks for the questions. Here, let's nab that back. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam and Tom from Riverflow from Birmingham City University. Well done, guys. Never easy going first. Well done. We're up and we're away. And we're moving swiftly on to our second Big Ideas finalist, who is Team Meta Futura Aerospace from the University of Southampton. Now, this team has developed Metaflex, which is an attitude and orbit control system for small satellites launched into the space. Let me hand that over, Marcin. So, we welcome up onto the stage Pedro Rodriguez, Fabrizio Pisani, Nestoras Papageorgiou, Marcin Badowski, and Elena Carulla. Guys, you know the score. You have 3 minutes for your presentation. Your time starts now.
We are Meta Futura Aerospace, and we aim to revolutionize space industry by developing a next generation of satellite control. Over the past decade, we have witnessed the major shift in the spacecraft industry. Expensive, large, and complex satellites have given way to affordable, small, and simple options. It is making space industry more and more accessible to smaller companies, affecting in the exponential growth in the satellites in space.
All satellites, however small, still rely on the Attitude and Orbit Control System, AOCS. This controls the orientation of the spacecraft, which allows us to be able to communicate back to Earth. This enables us to be able to connect with other people, no matter where they are, to be able to navigate the busy streets of London with GPS, or to be able to learn more about weather reports, such as the storm Kieran that's affecting all of us right now. Despite the miniaturization of satellites, they still rely on archaic technology, which can be overly complex, heavy, and expensive. The same way satellites have changed, the AOCS must change.
Therefore, Meta Futura has set out to make this change, going from 8 or more thrusters to only 2. Let us introduce you to MetaFlex. You can now achieve full control of your satellite utilizing only 2 thrusters. This is possible thanks to our revolutionizing technology of thrust vectoring utilizing compliant mechanisms. The advantage of our system are a cost reduction of 40% compared to traditional systems, a mass reduction and volume reduction allowing for more volume for scientific payload on board, and increased reliability utilizing fewer parts and a frictionless design. These are all crucial aspects for small companies, small aerospace companies, trying to tackle problems like lower funding and lower volume available.
The satellite manufacturing industry is now worth 182 billion pounds, and it's expected to grow to 330 billion pounds within the next 6 years. We conducted market research and identified the top 5 potential customers and competitors. However, none of the main competitors compare with us in terms of mass or capabilities due to our compliant technology.
Our dream is big, but with our devoted team we have here, it's well within reach. We all met during our first year of university, and since then have gained invaluable industry experience. Since then, we've taken the first step in founding Meta Futura and currently have our first prototype in the pipeline. We are now in talks with the European Space Agency to use one of their testing facilities once that is ready. Your funding and mentorship will help us lay the foundation for Meta Futura's success. So please, join us and help us make space more accessible.
Wonderful. Look at that, 2 seconds left. Thank you very much, guys. Wonderful. That was, so you can better see the judges from that side, and we'll bring the team back together. There we go, lovely. Well done, very good. Megan, can we come to you for a question for the team, Meta Futura?
Yeah, so thank you, great presentation. This is based on your need for requiring a lighter solution, but can you tell me, do you think there are other functions that multiple thrusters need to perform by giving directional thrust?
Can you specify better the question? You mean compared from 8 thrusters to 2?
Yeah.
If we lose any capabilities, if I understand what you say.
Yeah.
So,
we can go.
As a matter of fact, we get more capabilities out of it, where you're able to gain more rotations about different degrees of freedom than traditional stationary 8 thruster systems. So you're not actually losing any capabilities with this. You lower in the mass, but also gain in a couple of different capabilities that aren't up in orbit right now.
Perfect, thank you.
Great, lovely. And a question from Andrew for Team Engineer.
Yeah, thank you. So it seems to your design seems to rely on this compliancy. Is there anything that you can protect in terms of IP for the approach that you're taking to this control system?
So your question's a good one, because you're right in saying there's probably something we can protect in the intellectual property space. Simply because, as we mentioned before, compliant mechanisms have not yet been used for such an application. So once the prototype is designed and finalized and we go through the entire development process, we'll have something in our hands that's completely new to the industry and thus worth protecting.
But I might add that we're already in talks with experts at the university exactly for this reason for IP.
Very good, thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you, Andrew. Again, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for Team Meta Futura. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, can you give us
Excellent. So from a 5-strong team down to a 1-man team. Our third Big Ideas finalist is Dean Fraser from the University of Highlands and Islands. Now, Dean has designed a low-cost power factor correction system to improve the power factor of electrical devices, saving energy and improving safety. Dean, I'm going to hand you that there. Thank you. Lovely stuff. So, Dean, over to you with a presentation for your EcoSync invention. You have 3 minutes for your pitch, and your time starts now.
Okay, so EcoSync Smart PFC. Now, I've been an electrician a long time, and the problem I've seen is inefficient electrical installations have a low power factor. This causes energy losses. So if you look at this analogy, what you're paying for is a pint of beer. Now, what's useful in that energy-wise is the beer. What's wasted and is your losses is the reactive power. Now, as that increases, it increases the power consumption and your bills. When that gets to 33%, you start getting distribution network charges. Reduced efficiency of safety devices, overloading the cables, and this has a knockback effect in the national grid. Now, 70% of previous clients that I've spoke to were unaware even what a power factor was. For context, in 2021, 25 terawatt hours of energy was lost, and that's 9% of the total energy produced. At 52p per kilowatt hour, that's 13 billion pounds wasted energy in 1 year. So I've developed a low-cost power factor correction device. Prototype cost was £80. It's available to smaller and larger businesses, and it comes with integrated SCADA for remote monitoring to really harvest all the data. It's intelligent, autonomous, and more importantly, it's scalable. It comes with real-time analytics. Now, the benefits of the system is reduced energy consumption, reduced energy bills are typically 8 to 12%, increased installation efficiency of greater than 95%, increased safety, and it contributes to net zero. For a typical small business, you're looking at savings anywhere between £936 and £1,404, with a great reduction in carbon footprint. Now, the service is non-invasive energy audit. That allows remote monitoring of energy analytics with a tailored design of a power factor correction solution provided, with professional installation and testing. Remote monitoring and support and continuous software updates. Now, these allow to obtain a customer, but the last 2 points allow to retain the customer. Everything working in harmony together allows to provide the service to other people. So the future of the system is machine learning, which will allow for auto-calculation of capacitor banks, predictive fault finding, smart electrical distribution systems, intelligent switching for energy savings, a custom app, smart hub for homes, for the domestic sector, and that allows for integration of other external control systems.
Look at that.
Thank you.
35 seconds ago. Dean, well done. Fantastic. Let me that back from you whilst I remember.
There you
Thank
go.
you. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Dean Fraser from the University of Highlands and Islands there. And we're going to come over to our judges for questions. And let's go back to you, Andy. Question for Dean?
Yeah, please. Dean, who do you see as the first target customer group that you would go after? What kind of businesses would they be?
I think ideally, smaller businesses that generally don't understand about power factor. And they'll typically be the ones that would accept an all-inclusive rate where they won't be getting charged for the reactive power. But because they don't understand something, they're likely to stick with that rate and keep getting that. They'll be paying more over time. So ideally, like, going for customers that have got less information about it and then taking it from there.
Thank you. And Andrew, question for Dean.
Yeah, maybe just a follow-up question to Andrew's, which is, to Andy's actually. Who is the role within the customer that you're going to go and talk to? Is it a purchasing person? Is it someone who runs engineering? Is it someone in facilities management? Who?
Well, I think as many roles as possible in some cases, because coming from a technical background, it's very common to find electricians that don't even understand what the power factor is. And they're the people that are working in facilities management. But I've generally found that typically the people that have to pay the bills, they're the ones that it matters most to. For the people that have power factor correction devices already installed, to them, you mention reactive charges and they go pale. So, but this is a very early concept, so I'm looking for advice and guidance really to see where it could go.
Lovely. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Fraser from the University of Highlands and Islands with his EcoSync Big Idea. Okay, next up for our Big Ideas finalists, we have Griffith Ghazali and Squazer from Lancaster University. Griffith is just setting up a couple of props over here on the side of the stage. And Griffith's idea is to develop a line detection system, Hawkeye-style system, for squash games. So, Griffith, let me give you the flicker there. The stage is yours, Griffith. You have 3 minutes to present your idea, and your time starts now.
Every large sport has some form of technology to assist referees in their judgment calls. Tennis has Hawkeye, cricket has Snicko, football has goal line technology. But squash has nothing. Just how big of a problem is this?
Down.
Oh, he's missed it.
Ball was down. No, ball was down. No. No, it's down. 11-8, match to
Has
Rodriguez.
he put this straight onto the top of the tin?
6-11, 11-4, 11-5, 11-8.
Wow, that's a huge call, was it, on the top of the tin? We're going to see it here. Is it?
Yeah, I saw it hit the top of the tin. No.
Oh, it's a huge call. It looked good to me.
Did they just see that?
I hope not.
So in this video, we see an out ball call decide the outcome of a match, but a referee sitting 60 feet away cannot accurately determine if that's true. Even with a slow-mo replay, it's impossible to tell. And this is a problem across all levels of the sport, not just professional play. And as you can see, it makes players very upset. Enter Squazer. Squazer is a line calling system using lasers sitting over the top of the line. When the ball blocks the laser, a sensor alerts the referee and players that the ball is out. Laser technology hasn't been used in sports sensing before, and in testing, this has proven 100% accurate. Progress so far. So I've received £8,000 funding total, created a working prototype, and completed a successful trial with the Professional Squash Association. I've also cultivated interest and excitement in the squash community through social media and media appearances. The next steps include registering for a patent and trademarks, licensing the device to the Professional Squash Association and regular clubs, and expanding to the US and further abroad in time for the Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles. If we charge £5,000 and there's a 30% uptake among clubs in the UK, that's £7.5 million in revenue. If we include the US, that jumps up to £17 million total. Now, I have no competition, so this is a clear opportunity to make a fundamental change in a sport while turning a profit. I'm looking to raise £100,000 for 20% of the equity and looking to make £500,000 profit by the end of year 5, with an exit option to sell to a sports technology company at the end of the 5 years. Help me make Squazer change the game of squash for everyone. Thank you.
There we go. Wonderful. Well done, Griffith. Well done. Well done. No need for me to say time's up. Everyone is I've been instructed, by the way, everybody, to come right in hard on that 3 minute. Everyone has been very, very good so far. Fantastic, Griffith. Thank you very much. We're going to come to our judges again. Caroline, back to you. Do you have a question for Griffith? Are you a squash player?
I was.
Okay.
I have to pick up on your point of zero competition.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say zero competition, what are the barriers to other laser-guided systems actually being applied to squash courts that you're able to solve that makes you feel that they are not competition?
So the barriers would be I have relationships with people in the squash community. So I know lots of people at clubs and with the Professional Squash Association. I already have that relationship with them, and so they trust me. And also, when I receive intellectual property for the system, then I'll be the only one, who can do it.
Okay. And Megan, we come to you for a question for Griffith.
So I'm not a squash player, but my husband is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that many of the clubs that he's played at around Europe, because we've lived in quite a lot of countries, are not glass.
Yeah.
So what's the indicative cost to install this into a non-glass court?
So I haven't designed, so the current system, that system is for glass courts. And so the plan is to license it to the Professional Squash Association who will use it on the glass courts. And then once that has started, I'll design a system for regular courts. I already have some ideas on the design, but essentially it would mean drilling a small hole in the wall and installing it in there, in the courts,
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Thank you guys. Very insightful questions for Griffith.
Cheers.
Griffith, very well done.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Griffith with Squazer from Lancaster University. Okay, so that was our big ideas category pitches. We're now moving on to our startup contenders. Now, these teams have taken their big ideas already and are working with them to develop them into a business. Now, our first startup finalist is Team Surface Keys from Durham University. Guys, welcome up to the stage. Qilin Wang and Jessie He from Surface Keys. Now, this team has developed a system that enables users to type without a physical keyboard in front of them, while using extended reality such as virtual reality headsets. Right, let me hand that over. Ready? Okay, guys, you know the drill by now.
Yeah.
You have 3 minutes for your pitch. Good luck, and your time starts now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today I will give you a presentation about our project, Surface Keys, a mixed reality input system based on vision. In recent years, I think the mixed reality has come into the people's view, I think. Yeah, so mixed reality, the related market is growing rapidly. According to this data, the growing world research data shows the US mixed reality headset market is a project to reach $3.62 billion in this year. So behind this, there exists a big city for the productivity tool, mixed reality. Yeah. But because mixed reality technology can allow user to use the multiple screen anywhere, but their input methods still face many difficulties. For example, since the controller is heavy and less portable, and traditional mixed reality, the controller method is depend on the controller base recasting, and meaning the people must be input the text later by later. It's very slow. And so in our vision, a good input mechanism should be more efficient and intuitive.
Our proposed method uses a headset camera to capture hand feature points. The input algorithm will predict the user's input. The beauty of a system is its freedom from spatial constraints. You can project the keyboard on any surface you like. Different users have different typing behaviors. The user can bind the keys to their fingers based on their preferences. We'll also introduce accessibility support in the future. Today, as you can see in this video, we have completed the proof of concept stage. In the future, we aim to complete a full prototype that requires around £100,000 for development. We are particularly focused on improve the detection accuracy to improve typing speed and enhance user experience. After we complete this prototype, we can apply it to different keyboard layouts to support different languages. Our target customer will be MR manufacturers such as Microsoft, Meta, and Apple. We also sell it as a toolkit for software developers to use our design. As a third-party keyboard application, our product will be used in multi-platforms in all applications that requires text input in mixed reality. Thank you.
Well done, guys. Team Surface Keys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's come across to our judges once again for questions for Team Surface Keys. Let's head to Andrew, first of all. Thank you.
So I'll try to follow up. So two questions. One, I guess a lot of the people wearing these headsets would use voice, and a lot of others won't know how to touch type. Your approach seems to rely on touch typing skills. Is that right? Is that a big enough market for you?
Yeah, some people use voice, but actually in some environments, you can't speak out loud. You need to type right in this environment. And for this, for our technology, it's purely based on vision. So it's based on the camera to detect your fingers' tapping behaviors and to tap the correct letters.
So it'll work even if you're doing this kind of typing?
No, all the keys are binding to each finger, so you don't need to move around your hands to type.
Yeah, just like a normal keyboard experience. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Megan, a question for the guys?
Sorry, I gasped, folks. I just thought he was going to fall off the stage. So my question actually leads on really well from yours in the opposite way, because I do touch type, but I don't look at my keyboard. So if I'm not looking down at my keyboard, how is my headset capturing my fingers? Because I'm looking up at my screen.
Yeah, because in the word, because if we wear the mixed reality headset, you can see the virtual object. For example, the many screen. Yeah, and why we can see our hand, because we don't need to see it, because in the mixed reality headset, there are many camera. Yeah, and the center camera, they can detect your hand, because they need to know your hand position to predict something. Yeah, so we can get the data from the hand.
Yeah. Okay. So just pinging back onto Andrew's question.
Yeah.
So if I'm not able to touch type and I'm a 2-finger typer, and I normally do this, I can't use your system.
We actually allow customized typing. So you can bind like different keys, different triggers for different regions of the keyboard, and then you can use your 2 fingers to trigger different regions.
Great, thank you.
Good
Hope
stuff.
that answers
Thank you, judges. Thank you. And thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Team Surface Keys from Durham University. Well done. Okay, next up, we have Rishi Bagul from the University of Birmingham, who has created Dot Stores, which uses technology to enhance autonomous retail experiences, such as picking, packing, and delivering ordered items. Right, Rishi, welcome up to the stage. Welcome to the competition.
Thank you.
There is your controller. You have 3 minutes for your presentation on Dot Stores, Rishi, and your time starts now.
So the retail space are struggling because of multiple factors. High inflation has dampened their growth. Rising operational cost, labors, it's hard for them to survive. Their margins were thin and now they are razor thin. Again, fierce competition from the online businesses is fearsome and they have to struggle with it. So online businesses need solution, and the existing solution available in the market like Amazon Grow are not good enough. The online checkout systems are not good enough. They need much more robust solution. And we at Dot Stores believe that we have the solutions to completely automate the Dot Stores. So what we do is we basically convert traditional convenience stores and pharmacies to the completely autonomous stores. We envision, to put it simply, what we do is basically we convert traditional convenience stores and traditional pharmacies to the completely autonomous vending machine. Consider it as a complete vending machine. It's a giant vending machine which can work around the clock 24/7, delivering essential goods to people who are in need anytime, anywhere. What are the benefits of using our system? First, our system is designed in a way that it's very space efficient. It uses every cubic inch of a valuable real estate. The same amount of inventories can be stored in less than 60% of a real estate cost. What it means, with the same initial amount, owners can buy a premium location with higher footfall, which increases their revenue potential. Again, the operational cost goes down significantly because of our systems, which completely do everything autonomous. The entire operation is autonomous. A single person can operate the entire stores because there are automatic checkouts, picking, placing, no inventory counts, and managing inventory anymore. What it means ultimately, low operational cost and investment for the businesses and high ROI for them. As a customer, we get inventory at a cheap prices, availability 24/7, and quick shopping experience. Our current total target market is existing and new pharmacies, existing and new convenience stores, because what they require and what we believe in is matches. And this, let alone, is $100+ billion industry today. So I started Dashdot Robotics a couple of years ago in India. Since then, we have published a couple of patents. We have developed this technology. We have raised grants. We have demonstrated our technology in automobile sectors to multinational companies. And now we have paying customers back in India. And now we want to develop. We have to take this technology and want to sell it into UK for the retails. The next plan is to start a semi-autonomous pharmacy store in Greenwich. So help us so that we can help retails and pharmacies achieve their full potential. Thank you.
And that is time. Bang on. Well done, Rishi. Thank you. Well done, Rick. Thank you. Fantastic stuff. Let's head to our judges once again. Caroline, question for Rishi?
Yeah, thank you. You said that the idea is that these stores are in high footfall premium locations. Right. So can you just talk a little bit how you do the restocking control? So how do you actually interface with lorries turning up, etc.? Because I couldn't quite pick that up.
Yeah, so to put it simply, basically, in technical ways, there are racks completely filled in the warehouse space of retail stores. Each rack has two robots. One is to pick things from the rack and putting on a conveyor belt, and other is to take a new inventory that is coming from the conveyor and put it back in the shelves. So each robot works independently. So we have picking and placing, both the things happen simultaneously. So if new raw material comes into the stores, robots automatically checks those in and then put on the shelves so that they can be taken away and delivered to the customers.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Caroline. Where are we? Andy, back to you.
Yeah, you were talking about a pharmacy as one of your primary types of store. I mean, are you talking about prescriptions as well there? And how can you be sure that that you are giving the customer the right prescription, if you see what I mean? Right, I'm worried about I'm worried about you giving the wrong pills to somebody. Yeah. How can you guarantee that's not going to happen?
Yeah, so that's why we cannot do that right now. So that's why our first target is a semi-autonomous stores with a pharmacy. So basically, a pharmacist will be at the counter. Once the entire order gets packed, he once checks, approves, and then he delivers to the customers. For the pharmacy, it's right now semi-autonomous because there are regulatory framework for pharmacies to hand over the required things. But for convenience stores, we can completely autonomize. And once we have confidence in the system, potentially we can completely autonomize pharmacies as well.
Thank you, Andy. And thank you once again, Rishi Bagul, with Dot Stores from the University of Birmingham. Okay, we're firing through. We're on to our third startup finalist, which is Erai Kerar from Queen's University Belfast. This startup develops an automated system that uses AI-powered flow monitoring and inflatable airbags to ensure safe evacuation of public events, which could potentially save lives. Welcome to the show, Erai.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool. That's what we can go for there. Lovely. So, Erai, I'm going to hand over to you for your pitch on Stampede Prevention System. You have 3 minutes, and your time starts now.
Two big people crash happened in London during a concert and in Halloween in less than a year. And we see that at least 90 million pounds are the cost of these stampedes, as well as injuries and deaths, physical and psychological trauma, negative public perception, public safety concerns, legal and regulatory issues, as well as its economic impact. Groundbreaking product of Mecca SPS aims to grab a market in smart buildings, security, and crowd analytics. CV and CD have flow monitoring solutions. By the way, Bosch, Siemens, Eaton, and Honeywell have flow monitoring and AI-powered detection solutions, as well as energy-absorbent products. Mecca will unite them all in one system. Stampede prevention system will be embedded to the floor, and our target is at first the music venues. This system will meet the regulations, UK regulations. Stampede prevention system, SPS, integrates a flow monitoring system, a controller, and absorbent composite modular splitter airbags.
Even in the 2020s, human stampedes are still happening every single year and are a significant risk to event-based organizations. Inflatable splitter airbags, fed by an AI-powered flow monitoring system, can massively reduce the risks of stampedes by immediate implementation of safe evacuation corridors. The cutting-edge material technology of the walls makes it easy to absorb induced compression and shock when the modular system is activated to its standing position. The unique design is created and developed by innovative startup Mecca to keep event-based organizations safe.
Tailored implementation and sales, as well as subscription-based checkup and updates are our ongoing B2B business, a part of our ongoing business. Our target is next-generation architectural companies. I am the founder of Mecca, and I have 10 years experience in research and development, especially for aerospace and defense industry. Ramsey has really great experience in flow monitoring, and John has a great experience in mechanical design. Actually, Mecca is supported by various organizations.
Stop you there, I'm afraid, Eray. Well done, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Eray with the mention system, thank you. Let's hang around for some questions from our judges. And Megan, we're going to come to you first, if we could, please.
We are, thank you. I think this is a really innovative idea, and your expertise across the different areas is great, but humans are really unpredictable. And mix humans with a high energy event and probably alcohol consumption, what happens when I'm straddling on the dance floor, that barrier, and it comes up and I'm where it is?
Actually, it's a really thin structure, and it's a composite, foldable, embedded structure. And I have a really great expertise in composites. I get the outcome of my PhD to this product, and it will not anyway hurt any people. It will directly absorb the kinetic energy of stampedes and people by using a coated Kevlar and a specific core inside. And the guidelines just beside the splitter airbags will show the direction of the flow. So when it is implemented in just 2 seconds, maximum 2 seconds, the flow of people will be regular. So it will be like a laminar flow. So the people there, when stampede happens, will not face any turbulent flow anyway. So it will reduce the consequences, negative consequences of stampedes. We know that for one stampede in Brixton Academy, when 3 people killed, the total cost of this stampede is about $100 million, including mental health issues, injuries and fatalities, and the cost of these for insurance companies. But this product is actually really innovative, and the cost of this is really less compared to these expenditures.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Megan. And Caroline, question from you for Eray.
Yeah, you started to talk a little bit more about the material there, because that was really my question. So how much have you developed and tested your material, and how much of that is still to be done?
Actually, we have a digital twin of a human model, including the bones and the tissues for male, female, and children. And we are about to develop our splitter airbags digital twin. And we just started in March 2023, this year. But we are at the mid stage of our design and numerical analysis and our simulations for now.
Okay, so you've developed it digitally, but not yet physically. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, we need funding to invest for a workshop to perform these correlation studies. But I did it. I performed many correlation studies for many aircrafts and defense industry products. So we have a digital twin of a human, so we can simulate it as well.
Okay.
When it comes to flow monitoring and AI integration, yes, we have a source for this, so we can build all together and merge these technologies.
Lovely. Thank you, Eri. Thank you. Thank you, Caroline, Megan. All right. LIKR with a Stampede Prevention System from Queen's University, Belfast. Fantastic. Up we come. We're moving on to our fourth startup finalist, which is Richard Holmes. Welcome, Richard, with Global Anthem from representing York St John University. Now, Richard has developed an alternative communication system using hand gestures and flashcards to help refugees communicate more easily. Richard, let me hand you the clicker for your presentation there. So I'm going to hand over to you for your pitch on Global Anthem, Richard. You have 3 minutes for your pitch, and your time starts now.
I'm Richard. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees estimates 108 million people are under AIDS or related mandate. Every single person has lost their home, their job, their friends, their family. They've run from war, famine, poverty, persecution and abuse. If they all stood in the queue, starting here, at the Royal Society of Engineers, it would stretch for 38,000 miles. This is the largest and most significant humanitarian crisis this planet has ever seen. It has no end, no respite, no relief. If we could all understand one simple, basic way to communicate that was independent of language, technology, education, wealth, gender or status, to be used before we flee, while we flee, and when we find safety. To say with one voice, I need help, and to answer, I understand, without barriers. We need a global anthem. Global Anthem is an engineered, alternative and augmentative communication system that offers a humanitarian and empathic solution to displaced people. The system uses 36 easy-to-use flashcards in a self-contained pack. A pack distributed to agencies with support materials to be taught when we find safety, and a pack to be given to us when we flee. The cards demonstrate natural gestures with a non-specific gender, age and cultural illustration, with the target word printed on the front and space for it to be written in any language. And on the reverse, in the 5 most common languages used. The logo and brand are designed to be recognised much like a national flag. Global Anthem provides a low-cost, targeted response to any humanitarian crisis, which is zero technology, using no plastics and anchored to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As a support worker with Refugee Action, I've seen the desperate need to reduce the costs and resources in supplying aid. The UK spent £750 million on translation services last year and a further 15 million on English language classes, all for 0.5% of those affected by this tragedy. Global Anthem works. We've helped many people and it's been tested and proven to significantly reduce the costs and resources needed in supplying aid. I need help. 3 words that can change a life. I understand. 2 words that can change the world. This is our global anthem.
3 minutes. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Richard. What we got in there? Let me have a click up on you. Well done. Well done, Richard. Just snuck in there. Andrew, let's come to you for a question for Richard there.
So I love the idea of being able to communicate like this. How did they learn at the very start that this means safe or this means friend? How does that happen?
2 ways that the system works. The first one is a self-contained pack that has teaching materials that would be distributed through aid agencies such as UNICEF and taught in anywhere where they have a presence. So schooling, education, female empowerment areas, anywhere where an aid agency has an impact. So we're teaching people before they have to go. The second part is a small pack, like a pack of cards, and as people need to flee, such as the Ukraine crisis, where 40,000 people a day are rushing through Lviv train station. This pack is given out in the millions. Yeah, we're just handing it out, and the cards and the gestures are on there. So even if you haven't learnt it, You can hold that card up to somebody and you can go, nah. As simple as that. I didn't even teach you anything then. You know what I said. That's Global Anthem.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Andrew. Sorry, Caroline, let's come to you for a question.
Yeah, I suppose following on for that then, what are the barriers to aid agencies just picking this up straight away? Why is there a barrier, I suppose? Why is it taking time to roll it out?
It's taken every second, every penny and every breath of the last 18 months to get to here. And I'm talking to UNICEF, I'm talking to UNHCR, but every single part of this has been funded on hope. And I need help. Yeah, I need help. Yeah. But we can change the world. We have the ability to impact 108 million people for very little money and very little resources right now.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Holmes from York St John University with his Global Anthem flashcards. Righty-ho, our fifth startup finalist is Saili Jangam and her scientific advisor, Sondes Ben Anissa, with PicoSense, representing Imperial College London. Now, Saili has developed a wearable sensor to monitor female hormones in real time to help revolutionize care for patients with polycystic ovary syndrome. Saili, welcome to the show. Welcome to the stage. Cheers. And Sondes is going to stay off stage for this part, is that right? It's just you for the presentation. So I will hand over the stage and control of it to you. Your 3 minutes start now.
Hi, we're PicoSense, and we're developing a management tool addressing the hormonal imbalances in PCOS. Polycystic ovary syndrome, known as PCOS, affects 1 in 10 women in the UK. Now, this is a big problem because 50% of these women go on to develop type 2 diabetes by the mere age of 40. One such patient is Hannah. Hannah was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 16 and told to go on the contraceptive pill without much information. In her 20s now, Hannah suffers from irregular or no periods, facial hair, weight gain, and is at a high risk of diabetes. But what this actually means is that Hannah worries about her fertility, has low self-esteem, and is confused about how to manage her condition. And Hannah isn't alone in this. There are currently 250 million women worldwide with this condition, and the NHS spends £237 million on this every single year. There is no prevention, it is a genetic condition, and no treatment or cure currently exists. The only option that women have is to manage their symptoms. We spoke to lots of patients and learned that 80% were not satisfied with the support systems available today. And a common thread that we found was that patients wanted more information about the options that they had to manage this condition. This is where PicoSense is positioned to help. We're developing a wearable sensor that tracks female sex hormones in real time. The patient wears the sensor on their arm and is given an app that tracks this data and provides insights about where they are in their menstrual cycle. How this will help is PCOS symptoms will be managed in a better way. Patients will have a lowered risk of diabetes. The app will be able to predict ovulation before it happens, which is particularly useful for those with an irregular menstrual cycle. And the app will provide insights about the options that patients have with this condition. Ultimately, we want to create happier and more supported patients. The market size for this is huge and expected to grow to $5 billion by 2030. And there are competitors in the space innovating in ovulation trackers and finger prick-based blood tests. But there are no current solutions that provide hormone tracking in real time for PCOS. Initially, we want to go direct to consumer and then build this customer base to address the NHS with a higher number of patients taking PicoSense. So far, we've competed in Imperial Enterprises We Innovate competition, received pre-seed grants from Engineers in Business, which has allowed us to start our MVP development. Our team has expertise in biosensors, commercialization, and the clinical symptoms of PCOS. In terms of growth, we're addressing fundraising at the moment to accelerate our R&D, and we'd like to file our IP next year with an aim to do clinical trials the year following and launching our product after that as a CE marked medical device. So I invite you to help us help PCOS patients.
Stop you there. Well done, Saili. Well done. Fantastic. 3 minutes, bang on. And we're going to invite Sondes up onto the stage. This is Sondes for the Q&A session as well. So let's head over to our judges. Megan, over to you.
First, brilliant, thank you. Sorry. So, brilliant idea again, but what I'm interested in is your perceptions of what the challenges are going to be through your R&D process.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a very technically challenging project, and it's a hardware project. There is a continuous glucose monitor on the market right now for diabetics. So this is a parallel product to that for PCOS and women's health. And that has taken years to come on the market. So we do need time as scientific founders. We do need time to address that in the lab and accelerate the R&D.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to need at least 3 to 5 years, I think, of intensive R&D just to make it to the market. As Sally said, it took 20 years or more to get the CGM to the market. So I think we already have our idea about the secret sauce, the chemistry behind it, that we need to patent first before launching the product.
But that being said, with the CGM being on the market, we have that as a pathway to follow, which is something that will hopefully accelerate us in terms of our journey time.
Lovely.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Megan. And Andy, over to you.
So just to build on that then, that's the innovative part for you, is it? The actual, this sort of continuous monitoring of hormone levels. Are there any other people that are doing continuous monitoring of hormones for other diseases, conditions, and so on?
No, there's no current direct hormone monitoring. You have urine-based dipstick tests for different types of hormones, but they only provide a single time point concentration. There's nothing that builds a profile of hormones over time, which is very useful for somebody with irregular cycles.
Okay.
Yeah, just to point out, it's been proven that the pulsatility or the frequency of hormone change is the thing that matters for monitoring those things, not really a one-off measurement. That's why we are quite competitive in this area.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you, judges. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Sahi and Sunday. Well done, thank you. Representing Imperial College London. Okay, our sixth and final startup pitch tonight is Pipeline Organics, represented by Ariel Torres from the University of Nottingham. Pipeline Organics have developed a system that uses higher efficiency biofuel cell technology and wastewater to deliver renewable electricity to industry. Welcome to the show, Ariel.
Awesome.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much.
There's your clicker. You should know the score by now. You've got 3 minutes. And it's over to you. Your time starts now.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm Ariel Torres, CEO and co-founder at Pipeline Organics. We're an early-stage clean tech startup looking to develop next-generation biofuel cell technology to generate clean, reliable electricity from wastewater. That's okay. Global electricity consumption has exponentially increased over the last 50 years. Across all sectors, nearly 50 billion tons of CO2 is emitted every year. And nearly a quarter of that is actually coming from the energy required to power industrial processes. Given that fuel prices are on the rise, the societal and economic and environmental impact this is having is quite clear. Therefore, the diverse and reliable energy solutions are needed now. And that's where we come in. Our patent-pending enzymatic biofuel cell technology harnesses the untapped chemical potential found in wastewater to generate clean, continuous, and renewable electricity. When we apply it to power industrial systems, our customers actually benefit from an immediate reduction in energy bills, as well as carbon offsetting, and they also get a reliable in-house energy supply. For a simple full-scale unit, we estimate over 5,000 solar panels worth of electricity can be generated. Additionally, we expect that it would be able to offset up to 400 tons of CO2 per year, and that's just for one unit. Over its lifetime, we expect it to save our customers £5.1 billion in energy bills alone. Currently, our target market is the global renewable energy market, and that's estimated at $1.9 trillion and rapidly growing. Having identified multiple market verticals that are viable, we've actually decided to focus on the UK water industry to start with, as they have pledged to be net zero by 2030. with a team of 4 technical PhD-educated founders with skills across mechanical engineering, additive manufacturing, biochemistry, and material science, we are confident in our ability to deliver a commercially viable product in the next 18 months. Over the next 3 years, however, we'll be using current and existing investment and grant funding to allow us to produce an MVP, complete a pilot study with a target customer or 2, as well as secure our first Mark I sale and install our first product all before the end of 2025. And following direct sales, we then intend to shift toward a leasing model whereby we're offering energy as a service. And then in 2026 onwards, we'll be exploring international licensing agreements in order to accelerate our distribution of our innovative energy solution. However, to get there, we do need support, and that's going to be in the form of finance as well as expertise in order to get to our product in the next 18 months. If you can help, please let us know, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you very much.
That's time.
Yeah.
Well done, Ariel.
I saw the time, Nozza.
I know, the time is about. It's almost like that clock gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I
as
was
it's
like, oh
getting
God,
nearer.
10 minus.
Andrew, we're going to come to you for a question for Ariel as we round off.
Sorry, I was looking over there so much of it. Hi, guys.
So thank you. What's the typical payback for a wastewater treatment plant that invests in something like this? How many months does it take for them to get there?
Sorry, you're going through my appendix.
Oh, God, sorry.
It's okay. Sorry, can you repeat the question? So sorry.
Yeah, sure. What's the payback if someone invests in a system like this?
Yes, okay.
How long does it take for them to get their money back?
Yes, am I right to actually take that back? Sorry.
You are.
Thank you.
Please
I think
do.
I have a slide that might help with this. Oh God, sorry. How do I go?
Go back.
It's fine. I will answer this very simply. So for a Mark I product, to give you an example, we would expect that to cost anywhere between £30,000 to £50,000 to manufacture, for example. However, that's a small scale version, probably about half a meter cube. So that would, for example, generate about 11 megawatt hours per year for water industry. However, something I didn't include in this is our actual dual go-to-market strategy, which is actually where we talk about some of the other market verticals, so food and beverage.
Mhm.
They're actually going to be one of our first customers, whereby we talk to someone like Coca-Cola, which we have been doing, and we can actually install that device, the same size, and that would actually generate 54 megawatt hours per year, which is actually equivalent of about £15,000 savings. So coming back to the cost of that manufacture, which was around 30 to 50, if we assume the upper limit of 50, that's a 9-year payback period. But if we can bring that manufacturing cost down, which we expect to be able to do, we're looking anywhere between 5 to 7 return, and that's just the Mark I. Of course, I've got it all mapped out for up to Mark V, so I can go into more details after.
Lovely.
Great,
Thank you. Good question. And Andy, we're going to come to you as our head judge for our final question for our candidates this evening.
Thank you. Your biofuel cell, how much testing have you done in a wastewater environment with that?
Yeah, so alongside our sort of case study that we did with Welsh Water, we were able to take some of the wastewater samples from the Cardiff plant and test that in our early prototyping. That gave us initial results of kind of where we need to be focusing our efforts, because it didn't actually work to start with. So this was about a year ago. Since then, we've been able to use the Innovate UK funding to buy the relevant equipment we need that's sensitive enough to pick up on our smaller scale, but also as well allow us to get the money to scale up to we're about at this size now in terms of electrodes. So now we're able to essentially surface functionalize those electrodes and test it with the newly bought equipment. So we're at the point where I'd say solid 3.5 TRL. I would be ambitious enough to say soft TRL 4, to the point now where over the next 3 months, we're focusing on optimizing the chemistry and scaling the product a little bit bigger as well, so that by Q2 next year, we can actually take up Welsh Water's offer of running a pilot study with them. So that's kind of, if that gives you an idea of where we're at.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Thank
lovely.
you. Great question.
Thank you, judges. Thank you to Ariel. Ladies and gentlemen, Ariel Torres with Pipeline Organics, representing the University of Nottingham. So that's it. We've heard from all of our 10 finalists. They've all pitched, and now it's up to our judges to decide which 2 big ideas and which 2 startups will be our prize winners tonight. Now, the runners-up in these categories will receive £1,500, and the winners will receive £3,000. Additionally, remember, our judges will decide on the best presentation prize of £1,000 and the top prize tonight, £5,000 for the Enterprise Award, which will be given to the team with the best commercial potential. It's a tough job to do, judges. There's a lot of cash at stake. But whilst that's all fresh in your minds, I will let you leave the room to discuss and deliberate. Not an easy job at all. I certainly don't envy you. So we'll let you head off now. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges this evening. Okay, so as they enter the room, they will be back shortly with their winners. But this is now your time, audience and people watching at home who've logged on. This is your time to vote for the £500 audience prize on slido.com. So remember, you need to type slido.com into your browsers, wait for the website to pop up, and then enter the event code EIBC Grand Final. That's all one word. You'll then see a list of all of our teams here this evening. And as a quick reminder, here's a brief recap of all of the teams and their pitches that our finalists have presented to you tonight. So team one, we had Riverflow from Birmingham City University with a soil monitoring system to keep an eye on soil health and help boost crop yields. We then heard from team two, Meta Futura from the University of Southampton, who designed a novel attitude and orbit control system for small satellites. Team three was EcoSync from the University of Highlands and Islands, who developed a low-cost power factor correction system to improve the power factor of electrical devices, saving businesses energy and improving their safety. We moved on to team four, Squazer from Lancaster University, who invented a Hawkeye-style system for squash games. Team five was Surface Keys from Durham University with an invention that allows users to type without a physical keyboard using virtual reality headsets. We had team six, which was Dot Stores, representing the University of Birmingham, who created a robot for an autonomous retail experience using technology to pick, pack, and deliver your shopping for you. We then heard from team seven, Stampede Prevention System from Queen's University Belfast, who pitched an innovation that uses AI-powered flow monitoring and inflatable airbags to ensure safe evacuation at public events. I'm trying to look down as we go along. Team 8, Global Anthem from York St John University, with their easy-to-use flashcards and hand gestures to help refugees communicate more easily. We had Team 9, PicoSense, representing Imperial College London, who designed a wearable sensor to monitor female hormones in real time to revolutionise care for patients with polycystic ovary syndrome. And last but not least, Team 10, Pipeline Organics from the University of Nottingham, who developed an innovation that uses higher efficiency biofuel cell technology and wastewater to deliver renewable electricity to industry. Our 10 teams, we've heard a lot of great stuff tonight. So let's get voting, guys. Remember, this is for the £500 audience award that is up for grabs. So have a good think about who piqued your interest the most during their presentations on stage. Go to slido.com, type in the event code EIBC Grand Final, and vote. It is that simple. Which team do you think has the best idea or that you feel has the most compelling pitch? Vote. Vote now, and voting will close in just 2 minutes. I think you've got that. Okay, so while the judges are deliberating, it's time to hear from our competition organiser. So please, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome up onto the stage with me the President of the Engineers in Business Fellowship, David Falzani, MBE. Good evening, David.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Rob. Wow, what a competition. I'm sure you will agree with me that the finalists did a wonderful job of presenting their business ideas, all of which showed leading-edge innovation. They all deserve a huge round of applause.
I agree.
Engineers in Business Fellowship, or EIBF for short, is a charity that promotes business education for engineers. EIBF began as a Sainsbury Management Fellowship in 1987 and was founded by Lord Sainsbury of Turville, a huge supporter of providing business skills to engineers. Members of EIBF are known as Sainsbury Management Fellows, and we've all received a bursary which enabled us to study for an MBA at a leading international business school. EIBF continues to provide MBA scholarships to talented engineers. We also encourage engineering students and younger engineers to develop business skills way for young engineers to develop these skills is to participate in university innovation competitions, which we support by providing prize money. We are now working with 42 university partners. And this past year, the competitions had over 8,000 participants and an audience of more than 300,000 students. As well as cash prizes, the winners of the university competitions have access to mentoring from one of our Sainsbury Management Fellows. Now, we like to stay in touch with many of our past champions finalists, whether they've won a prize at the competition or not. So I say to all of the finalists today, please do keep in touch with us.
David, thank you very much. I mean, it is always fantastic to hear just how wide that audience is of students watching and all of those universities and students who take part in this competition. It's absolutely fantastic. David, thank you very much once again. Thank you, David Falzani. Now then, I mentioned this earlier, and I'm very excited to introduce our next guest up onto the stage. It's somebody I've spoken to before, up on this stage this time last year, actually, because we thought tonight you would like to hear from one of our past winners. Last year, one team won 3 awards, and on the evening, 3 awards up here on this stage, and has been incredibly busy turning that idea into a commercial reality. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back onto the EIBC final stage, Tamara Ivankova from Amara Automotive. Grab this. Hi, Tamara.
Hello again.
It's brilliant to see you. Welcome back up. I mean, this is a familiar stage for you, right?
Yep. Good to be back.
So let's get this right. So you won 3 prizes last year.
Yep.
You won the pre-show prize. You won the audience prize that was voted on. And you won the Big Ideas first prize. You were a winner of that. And you took home a haul, there you go, not just 3 fantastic trophies, but you took home a haul of £4,000 to invest in your business as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, the other thing to note for everybody here is that this time last year, Tamara, you'd lost your voice.
I did.
It's very difficult to make a 3-minute presentation.
Yeah.
But you got through it.
Yeah, and you followed along the script in case I croaked and
Just
couldn't
in case,
anymore. Yeah, it was
but
wonderful.
you went on. Well, listen, Tamara, we'd love to hear more about what you've been up to over the last 12 months. So let me hand you to that.
Thank you very much.
I'll leave the stage for you.
Awesome. Well, it's great to be back. And today I'm just going to give a very short overview of what we're about. And I'll go on to talk a little bit more about actually what I got on since winning last year. So I'm the founder of Amara Automotive, and we're building the future of transport. Now, a lot of you don't know this, but currently you're 24 times more likely to die from air pollution than from a car accident. The good news is electric cars are getting more and more popular, and many of you have heard that there's 0 emission, which would be great if it was actually true. In reality, electric cars only reduce emissions by about 50% in use, and in production, they're actually 46% worse. Clearly, their mass adoption isn't the single solution. And when you consider that the majority of current journeys are already under 5 miles and made by just 1 person, cycling is the obvious solution to eliminate travel pollution. The problem is, this is the reality of cycling. It's seen as unsafe and uncomfortable. So in the UK, just 4% of people cycle, and that's reflected globally. So we have a solution. This is the LSE, our safe 4-wheeled e-bike, which gives you the comfort of a car at the negligible recurring costs and emissions of regular bikes. And you're probably wondering how it works. So let's imagine you swap your car out for the LSE on your commute. Whether you're traveling to work or doing the school run, you ride in comfort, benefiting from electric assistance as you pedal. You use the cycle lanes to overtake the traffic that you're usually stuck in, and you get all this time saving at a negligible running cost. When you arrive, you can park anywhere bikes can, and you can park without worry thanks to our security features. And to recharge, simply remove the battery and charge on mains power anywhere. Now, a year ago, I was sat where these guys are, and I was at the start of the journey, having just a design and some built a scale model, did some wind tunnel testing, but it was right at the start of the journey. And since then, I decided to focus on the validation before diving into the product build and development. And I joined the Future Worlds cohort run by the University of Southampton and did a 6-month accelerator, really validating the idea and making connections with people in the industry. We have a partnership with the top supplier of e-bike systems at the moment, and we also got an Innovate UK grant to help develop one of our core technologies for low impact production, because as I mentioned, to make vehicles sustainable, they not only have to be sustainable in use, but the production is really key, which is where EVs have a shortfall at the moment. We've also expanded our team, and the funding is really what allowed me to actually go full-time. It gave us the credibility and the confidence and the publicity right at that very start. For me to go full-time whilst in my final year of university, we got an industrial unit where we then could do all of our product development, and we ran over 5 internships. So now our key focus is the R&D and build. We are very close to launching our prototype. So if you want to find out more about that, you can scan the QR code, you can visit our website, you can even book your first test ride to be right at the top of that list once we do launch at the start of next year.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic. Well done, Tamara. Thank you. Mr. Tamara, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to put that away because I can't be trusted with it. So, I mean, as you mentioned, you were sat here in this position, and a lot has happened. I want to talk to you specifically about the money that you won here on the competition. Do you remember exactly how you used that, how you invested that into the business, and how crucial that was to moving things forward?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was nice just to get some money in the bank so that we just had more freedom when making decisions. Like at the start, it just took a lot of pressure off while we did the business validation. So then when we knew, well, actually we need to start building things now, we need to do the product development, we had a pot of money to rely on. So that went into actually getting our industrial unit at the start, which then allowed us to continue building. And yeah, we bought some machines to be able to do our testing. We bought the materials, and that's really where the core of it went.
That's fantastic. It really was a cash injection into your business to catalyse more and more development. So when you look back over the last 12 months, what have been the biggest challenges? What are some of the biggest learnings that you've made? I guess both from the technological side of what you're developing here, but also from the business side, which is exactly what we're here, as we said, combining those two disciplines. Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I'm an engineer at heart. Like this, I didn't have any business sort of background before delving into this business. And I mean, one of the things that I was told constantly is like, you're doing hardware. Hardware is really difficult. And as an engineer, I've built vehicles before, I've built cars before. And I thought, it's fine. Like I can do it, it's really easy. The thing is, working with suppliers is probably the most challenging thing when it comes to developing a commercial hardware product. There's a lot of timelines that are completely different now that I have the experience of working with them. There are delays when you have to rely on different companies who have their own timelines. So that's one of the biggest things. But another thing more on the business side is kind of reflecting on the journey. I've been thinking about this a lot. But when you start a business, the one thing you have an abundance of is advice from all types of people with all types of backgrounds. And not all advice is like you shouldn't take on all of that advice. And I think one of the really good ways to figure out which advice you should and shouldn't take on is just to firstly think about, well, why you're actually doing a business. You have a business to solve a problem, but what is the reason that you want to solve? Like, what's your why? Why are you solving that problem in the first place? If you look at the automotive industry, the current leaders are creating EVs, but their reason isn't to actually have an impact on the environment. Their reason is to maximize profit, which is why you see an increase in bigger, more powerful SUV electric vehicles to squeeze out these margins, whereas we really care about that impact, which is why we approach the problem in a completely different way. And I think if you know why you're actually trying to solve that problem, like that will impact your solution massively, but it's the number one thing that will actually keep you motivated. So when it gets tough, when you've got these delays and you're missing deadlines and you thought you'd have that done months ago, that's the thing that will keep you going. Actually, well, it's a really worthwhile thing to do, no matter
how many delays, how many issues you experience.
Really, I mean, I was going to finish off. I'm not finishing yet. My final question was going to be: have you got any advice for our guys out here? But you've just sold yourself out of that, potentially. I mean, it's all too easy for us to talk about the challenges, and I think you've really kind of laid out what a lot of those are, both technologically and in that business sense, which I guess you are learning about all the time. Let's look at the other end of the scale. What have you had some kind of punch to the air moments this year of just complete joy? Something that's happened within the business that you've enjoyed so much, an achievement, or just maybe even something that might be quite small and seemingly insignificant, but for you, it's had a massive impact to your motivation.
Yeah, I mean, getting the body out of the molds was one of the most satisfying moments. We had so many issues with supplies to actually make our molds because we have a relatively small budget. I don't want to spend all our money on tooling for the first prototype. And that didn't work out, and that caused about 3 months of delays. And we developed a method to make our own molds in a very affordable way. They cost us less than £2,000 to make, which is insane for a vehicle at this scale. And so after all of that hard work, actually pulling out the finished part and like holding it over my head was absolutely epic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd defy anybody
So
probably
good.
not to do that as you've done what you've done. Pick it up, hold it, like, yes!
Yeah.
What a bit, because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, thank
you.
you.
I'm an EV driver and I'm a cyclist.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm probably banging your market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you need someone to come and prototype.
Come for a test ride.
Test drive your prototypes. Yeah, absolutely. So I was going to ask you. So you alluded to it in your talk there about you now employ part-time some people, and you've taken on some internships from students. How's that been for you, managing people as well as managing the business, managing financially where you're going, and that technological development? How are you juggling that side of things? And had you had much experience in that people management before?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot when it's actually like a paid role. I have quite a bit of experience before in society, sort of running teams where people are effectively volunteering their time. So I manage like a team of 40 people in Formula Student and a Human-Powered Aircraft Society. So I have experience with that, but there's a lot less pressure because it's just a voluntary role. Okay. Whereas when you bring people on, I mean, the key thing is just pick the right people, don't settle. There were a few roles where I didn't actually get the candidates that I wanted, so I closed the role and restarted it, even though that wasn't the best thing for our timeline, but I really wanted to get the person with the right mindset that would fit well within the team. And again, managing people takes a lot more time than you think. It's very rewarding, and it's great to have people actually who are very invested in the idea, so that it's not just me kind of, working as hard as I can. There's other people who really believe it and want to give their time to it. I mean, overall, it's been great, but there are definitely challenges. Things always take longer than you think before you actually have the experience. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So we have our candidates here, or our competitors here, who have been pitching. And I mean, you were sat there this time last year. How does it feel to be up on stage now, knowing kind of what it took and all the work it took to get to where these guys are?
Yeah, no, it feels great to be here. It's been so great to see your pitches. Everyone always comes up with completely different things. Like there's things I saw today that I didn't expect at all, and it was the same in the last competition. So really good job to everyone. It's been awesome to see, and it's so great to be back and actually see that the difference that this competition is making, especially because I've also been keeping in touch with the other finalists from last year, and it's been great to see their progress as well. So yeah.
So when can we expect those first test drives to be taking place?
Start of next year.
Start of next
Very
year?
Start of next year.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, I shall be in touch.
Awesome.
Tamara, thank you so much. I mean, all the very, very best of luck with the continuation of the development of your business. Not that you need luck. It sounds like you're doing a great job yourself.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tamara Ivankova, thank you very much. Okay then, hopefully you all managed to cast your vote for your favourite idea and your favourite pitch, because I'm excited to say that it's time to reveal the winners of our first two prizes this evening. We're inviting David back to the stage to announce the results of the pre-show People's Prize and the Audience Prize. David, over to you.
Results time.
It's good, isn't it? It's exciting.
Thank you, Rob. I'm very happy to announce that the winners of the pre-show prize from our voting on the EIBC website is Dot Stores, who will be receiving £500 towards their big
Come on
idea.
up. Rishi, come on up. Yeah, let's just use the direct way. There you go. We're going to hand that to you there. Rishi, we'll get a quick photo, shall we? Here we go. Yeah? Congratulations, Rishi. Well done. Superb stuff. Well done. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Bagul with Dot Stores.
And there's more. And the winners of the audience prize from this evening, from all of you and people online, is Team Meta Futura Aerospace, who will also receive £500 towards their startup idea.
Guys, come on up. Come on up. Big smiles. Big smiles. Audience prize. Here we go. I'm going to hand that to you in the middle. And I'll come in as well. David, are you in?
Do you want me in? Do you want me in?
Yeah, go on up.
I'll go the other end, shall I?
Over there. Good. Okay.
Well done, guys. Congratulations. Winners of our audience prize. Oh, well done to you both, Team Dot Stores and Team Meta Futura Aerospace. We're going to move on because, I don't know if you noticed, but our judges silently crept back into the room. So we will crack on. We've got big smiles over here and nervous smiles down here, and I'm somewhere in the middle. Okay, so just to remind you, we had 2 categories here this evening, big ideas and startup, with the judges awarding a runners-up and winners cash prize for each of those. There's also the best presentation award of £1,000 and the best presentation award of £1,000 sponsored by Purple CV. And finally, there's the enterprise award of £5,000 for the team with the most commercial potential. So let's get on to the winners. Stop talking, Rob. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome back our judges. Sainsbury Management Fellow Andrew de Rosero, Megan Powell-Fraser-Vike, Caroline Fleming, and our head judge, Sainsbury Management Fellow Andy Doe. Welcome back to our judges. We're going to crack right on, and we're starting with the runner-up in the Big Ideas category. Caroline, over to you. Please, could you announce our runner-up in the Big Ideas category, who, as a reminder, will win £1,500?
Yeah, delighted to. So, well done, everybody. It was a really challenging bit of scoring that we had to do, but the runner-up that we have chosen is Squeezar. Congratulations.
Griffith, come on up. Runner-up in the Big Ideas. Fantastic stuff, Griffith. That is for you. There we go. We'll, in there. Yeah, lovely. Well, I tell you what. Let me get the mic here. How does that feel? You've got that prize in your hand there.
It feels amazing. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
How did you feel your presentation went? What was the experience like for you up on stage, giving your presentation, feeling the pressure from the judges and the audience?
Yeah, I was very nervous coming up, hands a bit sweaty, but it went perfectly. Actually, it went even better than the rehearsal. So I was very happy. Yeah.
So do you have an idea of where that money's going to go to? With the business?
Yeah. So it's going to go towards most likely component costs and testing. Yeah.
And do you have an idea about where your award will go?
Yeah, that'll go probably on the mantelpiece at home.
Why
I
not?
think. Yeah.
Why not?
Mum approves. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Well done, Griffith Ghazali. Well done. Okay, we're moving on to the runner-up award for our startup category, who will also win £1,500. Andrew, we're going to come across to you to announce our runner-up in the startup category.
Thank you. I'm delighted to announce that the startup runner-up is Global Anthem.
Fantastic, Richard. Come on, Richard, up you come. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
Let me get this trophy for you. I'm going to put my mic down for that because no one wants that in a photo. Here we go. There we go. Richard, how's that? Let me get the mic. Here we go.
Talking to a microphone.
Yeah,
my
go
God.
on. There you go. How's that?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much.
How's that? Right,
Brilliant.
Thanks to the judges. I mean, you obviously impressed the judges with your pitch. I mean, from my perspective, there's certainly a lot of passion behind your presentation.
Oh, thank you. I mean, this is a project of the heart. It's not a project of numbers. And this means that we can move a little bit more forward. And what this is going to be used for is to get prototype packs out through UNICEF, through UNHCR, and into the hand for real-world field testing all across the world. So that's what you've done. So thank you.
And do you know how quickly you're going to be able to do that with the help of this prize money? Does that help accelerate that?
It's accelerating it all hugely. The prototype packs hopefully are going to be out by the end of this year, or if not early January. And we have an aim, if we can get the support from everybody, to have this rolled out across the world on World Refugee Day, which is June of next year. That's what we're aiming for.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, Richard, we cannot fault you for your ambition and for your quality of presentation and pitch. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Holmes.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Fantastic. Okay, we're moving on to the winners for our two categories. So the winner of the Champion of Champions final, big ideas and startup categories. And as a reminder again, each of these teams will now receive £3,000 prizes and a Sainsbury Management Fellow Mentor, which, as we heard from Tamara, is also incredibly valuable. Megan, we're going to come to you, please, to announce our winner of the 2023 Champion of Champions, Big Idea.
Thank you. I have to echo what Caroline said. All of you are amazing, and this has been a real challenge for us in the judges' room to make these decisions because you are all brilliant at what you've done. And the winner is Meta Futura.
Meta Futura, back up you come. Winner, big ideas. Here we go, let's put that there for now. Who's going to take this?
Thank you.
No, well done, guys. Congratulations. Back up again. Yeah, there we go, there we go.
And nice and close in.
Yeah. Tight team. Fantastic stuff, guys. Here, let me get you the mic so everybody can hear. Here we go. Yeah, well done. A spokesperson, okay, very good, nominated. But I can't help notice that you have a wonderful mix of nationalities in your team here. How is that working together? Do you think that helps bring different perspectives into the team?
Well, yeah, like you noticed, there's a lot of nationalities here, 2 Spanish, 1 Italian, 1 Cypriot, and 1 Polish. And like you said, it just really helps bring different angles from a different perspective, point of view, something that you wouldn't traditionally think because you went to a different school and system back home, and just really helps accelerate the idea process that we go through.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to see. Did the presentation go as you'd hoped, as you'd expected up on stage?
We really struggled to get the presentation just in the point. And
it's tough, right?
But this here was the best we practiced, and I think I'm really proud of every one of us that we we show what we were planning for and not overwhelmed with something. So I'm really proud of everyone that did the job as really the best.
You can't over-prepare, right?
Of course. It was close.
No, I don't think we had to cut anybody off from their 3 minutes, but how difficult is it to get your pitch into 3 minutes, especially when you've got 5 of you up on stage as a team?
Well, so I was the last one to speak, and every time we practiced, it was maybe plus 2 seconds, minus 2 seconds. I'm not going to allocate it to luck, but the amount of practice that we actually did that made us get just the 2 seconds on the right side of the track.
And do you know where this prize money is going to go into your business? Do you know what comes next for this?
Yeah, so we outlined the timeline before, and this money is going to go straight into the development of the first prototype, just accelerate that process and increase the different types of capabilities that we can test for by the end of our first prototype.
Wonderful. Fantastic stuff. Congratulations, guys. Big smiles all around. Let's hear it again for our, thank you very much, Champions of Champions, Big Ideas winners. Okay, and so on to our winners of the startup category, and our head judge, Andy Doe, has the honour to announce this year's, the 2023 Champion of Champions Startup winner. Andy, over to you.
So, thank you very much. Well, look, I just echo what the other judges have said. It's been really fun and interesting to listen to you all. I know you've all worked really, really hard. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much. And it was a fantastic, really interesting afternoon. I wish we could award prizes to everybody, but we can't, unfortunately. We have to pick a winner. And but I just want you all to carry on with your amazing entrepreneurial businesses, and I hope you all become amazing success stories, and I can read about you in the future. But anyway, the winner is Pipeline Organics.
Come on up, Ariel. Ariel, up you come. Yeah. Wow, that was. Well done, fantastic. Here, let me hand you that. That is yours now. Yours to keep. Here we go, in the middle.
Oh, yeah, Thank you.
Let me get the mic. So, cries of joy from the back of the room in the audience.
Thank you. Echoed my inner voice.
I was going to say, so how does that feel to hear your name as announced as the winner?
Probably, I don't know which emotions to process first. Obviously, surprise. I guess also probably relief. I think the support that comes with this award is exactly what we need right now. We're at such a critical point in our business that, like I said, the expertise and, of course, the money is essential. So, of course, relief that this means we're one step closer to getting that to our goals, basically.
And how big of an injection is that £3,000 award to doing that, to getting closer to your goals?
Yeah, I think I might have breezed past it a bit at the end of kind of what we're looking to achieve over the next few months. So it's compared to the $500,000 we're trying to raise in investment, it doesn't sound like a lot, but actually in the short term, again, it's really well timed. Literally just last week, our tech team was complaining that our old gaming PC that we've been using to run the equipment that we bought with the Innovate UK grant, which is running out soon. So we can't actually, for example, buy a new computer with the grant funding based off the timeline. So we're now thinking, right, we need to scrap something of our own money, and actually £500-600 is exactly what we need, for example, just to get a basic lab computer. So that's already right there. And then, of course, we've got outstanding patent costs. So a good chunk of that's going there. And maybe even a small amount. Sorry, I know you don't really need to know this, but actually, quite a wild idea is maybe use a small amount to, I guess, overcome some barriers to raising investment. Yeah. So whether that's traveling to investors' offices or firms, whether it's in the UK or potentially abroad, that might potentially make that an opportunity that we could explore and help us raise faster. So a little step up, thank you.
And you take this back to the team because you presented your team
yes,
in your presentation.
Kevin, Eric, Andy, of course, this is coming home.
They'll be just as pleased, I imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're watching now.
Very good, very good. And you'll get to share that with them when you get back and share in that joy and delight. Yeah. Ariel, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Congratulations once again. I will take that from you. Well done. Ariel Torres, ladies and gentlemen, our 2023 Champion of Champions Startup winner. I mean, I think we can all agree, as our judges have said, that all our teams today, I mean, you all gave fantastic presentations. It is not easy up here doing that in 3 minutes. And I say congratulations to all of you once again. We know how important effective communication is, giving presentations in the business world. For this reason, our sponsor, Purple CV, has provided an extra prize for the best presentation. Caroline, we're going to come back to you to announce our winners of the best presentation prize, please.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I think this was a good one to have because actually you guys wowed us with all sorts of different types of presentations, which we're really pleased with. We had teams, we had solos, we had props, we had mixed media. So it was really enjoyable for us to watch. But I think overall, for best presentation, we chose the team that we felt gave us the clearest and most consistent story of their business and really helped us understand what they were looking for. And so our best presentation award goes to PicoSense.
PicoSense, that you've come. Fantastic. Siley and Sondez. Well done, Siley. Congratulations. Sondez, congratulations. Here, let me hand you this, both of you. Voila. Come in. There we go. Keep coming a bit down there. Super. Well done, guys. Fantastic. Congratulations again, Team PicoSense, Saili and Sandes there. Let's hear it for with their member. The £1,000 Best Presentation Award. Okay, finally, to the winner of our largest award this evening, the Enterprise Award, with a prize money of £5,000. This award is to help encourage the winning team to proceed with the commercialisation of their innovation, their idea. And again, I'd like to ask the President of the Engineers in Business Fellowship, David Falzani, to announce the result of our final award this evening, the 2023 Enterprise Award winner. David.
Thank you very much indeed, Rob. So I'm delighted to announce that the winner of this year's Enterprise Award is, I'm waiting for it on the screen. Let's go to the backup. Pipeline Organics.
Pipeline Organics, back up. Here, David, I'll pass this to you. Very well done. Good to see you again, Ariel. Here we go. I hand that over to you, and another £5,000 into the business fund.
Wow, no, genuinely. Wow, thank
Yeah,
you.
wow. Okay for photos?
That's 8 now, thank you. That's, oh my God, thank you, I'm too smart.
Ariel, congratulations. Well done once again, ladies and gentlemen. Ariel Torres with Pipeline Organics, winners of the 2023 Champion of Champions Enterprise Award. And thank you once again to David for the ongoing support from the Sainsbury Management Fellows for this, well, what I feel is a vital and exciting competition. I don't think anybody involved or anybody watching here in the room or online can deny the value that this brings to the industry, the value that hopefully you all will take on with your businesses to improve the world. Thank you once again also to our panel of judges for your time and for your effort tonight. This competition would not be the same without the experience that you bring to it, your insights, and of course the decision-making capabilities, which is probably the most difficult of all of it. Thank you so much again. Our judges, Caroline Fleming, Andrew De Rosero, Megan Powell-Freeswijk, and our head judge, Andy Doe. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges, thank you so much once again. Well, in my view, that has been another absolutely fantastic show, full of exciting ideas with lots and lots of potential and lots of talent that we've seen here on stage tonight. Talent and ideas to tackle those challenges, worldwide challenges that society faces. For more details on how to participate in the Engineers in Business competitions, visit the Apply page of our website. And you can also watch our EIBC 2023 Champion of Champions winners videos at eibc.org.uk/winners. A massive thank you also goes to our sponsors. Purple CV for sponsoring our Best Presentation Award and providing professional CV packages for all of our prize winners. To Cambridge University Press, who are providing each winning team with the book Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship by Dick Whittington. And our winners will also receive a copy of David Falzani's recent book, Double Your Price. And thank you, finally, once again, has to go to you guys, the teams who've pitched this evening. You're all absolutely brilliant. Thank you so, so much. I hope you've enjoyed your time here at the competition and your time yesterday with the mentoring and the advice that you received. I know that there will have been lots of valuable lessons learned that I really hope you do take forward. And I would really urge you to make the most of the rest of the time that you have in this room with the experts here, and maybe as you enjoy a drink next door later on. Ladies and gentlemen, one final huge round of applause, please, for all of our teams here tonight. Thank you very much, guys, and very, very well done. Amazing ideas, full of ideas. They're going to help us tackle the challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. My name's Rob Bell. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to more amazing engineering ideas in 2024. Until then, good night. Thank you.